And I'm concerned that issue can come up and we run the risks of losing the fair trade label. But let us hope we don't reach thus far.
The chairmanship of the National Fair Trade Organization has been surrendered to the government of St. Lucia in what has been described by outgoing chairman of the NFTO, Eustace Monrose, as a ruthless, sabotaging ransom nightmare that squeezed banana farmers until they gave in to government's demands.
What we thought would have happened after the chair was given up about a month and a half ago, that monies would have been flowing. But instead, what we had to do, I was still there, we had to negotiate with the development bank for the loan. And what government did was to arrange with the National Economic Board, I'm told, which is, a creature of the Citizen by Investment program, but it's wholly government owned. They're the ones responsible for managing the funds of the CIP. And from this fund, I think the board approved $4.3 million that will not go directly to the farmer, but it will go as a security.
Monrose says immediately after he was ousted as the chair of the NFTO, monies were made available to pay farmers for weeks 8 and 12. He argues that the Banana Productivity Improvement Project, BPIP, created to modernize and enhance production and productivity, failed to subsidize implements for struggling farmers. This, he alleges, led to the mass departure of farmers from the industry.
You had a warehouse that BPIP manages on the Côte Sevre. They could have made those inputs available to the farmers because you need fertilizers, you need inputs to produce bananas. But they allow the fields to go right down to zero before anything was done. And up to now, nothing has been done.
Now that the government has clinched the chair of the NFTO, the burning question is who will take the helm of the organization now that Monrose has been ousted.
So I'm told that it would be the gentleman from Deriso who sits on Invest St. Lucia board. But the other person will come from the Ministry of Commerce. This person has not yet been announced. But for a fact, we had all 4 meetings with the groups, and the groups have selected the chairpersons, that the 4 chairpersons who will sit on the main board, which is the SLNFTO board.
Monrose, in closing, had a word of caution to the stakeholders charged with affairs of the National Fair Trade Organization.
If after an audit is done and the fair trade leadership realizes that government has taken over, they're not in for that. And we are likely to lose this fair trade brand. And we may not be able to sell our bananas on this fair trade brand. We will have to sell our bananas just as ordinary fruit, which is far below the price that we receive. It's not fair. It's way below. So I'm hoping that this does not reach the Fair Trade Foundation, where they can probably, but news do travel. But let us hope that some kind of quick arrangement. But I think government wanted that kind of arrangement now, only because of it might be electioneering. To show farmers is not because Monrose was there, you get anything, but after Monrose has left, then we are keeping our part of the bargain, and we are giving you a lot of resources.
The former NFTO chair urges collaboration by Invest St. Lucia, Export St. Lucia, and the Marketing Board to bolster productivity and exports in the banana industry. Solange Alfred, HTS News Force.